Venezuela has to stop and we need to move forward as a zone of peace, says Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd. The minister was speaking at an extraordinary sitting of the National Assembly to answer the illegal claims by Venezuela to Guyana's Essequibo.
All too well what Venezuela wants, Mr. Speaker. They want to take our land away from us, which we have rightfully owned. Because like they did with Dominica, Colombia, and Trinidad and Tobago, they want more access. This is what it's about. It's pure greed, Mr. Speaker. They have more than their fair share. They got 4 times the size of Guyana. Why would they want more? This is a zone of peace, Mr. Speaker. This is an era of peace and stability. Venezuela has to stop. Venezuela has to recognize that we need to move forward in moving this region as one, as a zone of peace. And Venezuela is the only country in this region, Mr. Speaker, who is threatening that peace. And that must not happen, not now, not never, or not ever.
According to the minister, Venezuela incorrectly viewed the 1966 Geneva Agreement as replacing the 1899 Arbitral Award. According to Todd, Venezuela is on the wrong side of international law.
Guyana has consistently requested successive governments of Venezuela to do 3 things, Mr. Speaker. 3 things. 1, prove the basis of the contention that the award of 1899 is null and void. 2, identify any provision in the Geneva Agreement that states that Guyana is precluded from developing the Essequibo. And 3, identify the article in that agreement that states that the arbitral award of 1899 is superseded by the Geneva Agreement. Mr. Speaker, Venezuela has never been able to do so, and they will never be able to do so because they are on the wrong side of history.
The Nicolas Maduro-led government on December 3rd will seek answers from citizens on their position to annex Guyana's Essequibo. In the meantime, Venezuelan troops have moved closer to the border as a show of aggression.
In addition to the decision to conduct this referendum, Venezuela has increased its military forces and equipment on its borders with Guyana. While the former position of Venezuela is that the security forces have been mobilized on the border to curb illegal mining, there have been reports of Venezuelan military building a landing strip in a zone near the Essequibo region. No explanation about the airstrip has been provided to the government of Guyana, but it is clear that it is the intention of that state to increase the rhetoric on the controversy and drive fear in the Guyanese population along the borders. Mr. Speaker, we will not be afraid. We stand on principles. We stand on the right side of the law. Why should we be fearful? It is the Venezuelans who are fearful. They are fearful. We are not fearful. We are committed to this process, Mr. Speaker. We want to see it through to its logical conclusion. That is why we're here.
In Parliament today, there was a resounding no to the illegal claims, with Opposition Member of Parliament Cameron Jamdatan saying not a blade of grass, while Asha Kisoon condemned the action.
And I want to say, with all these activities we did, that was to ensure that we can get the benefit of that largesse out there. We must appreciate that indeed it is our land and nobody else's. Not a blade of grass. And though we may have the situation where they're going to do some saber rattling, we are not going to give up. Guyanese all across this country, in the diaspora, and we have got the wide diaspora. I understand we got some people from Alaska and so on. In Alaska. We are very, very clear and united on this issue. we must ensure that this bonanza that is Essequibo, that is ours, be exploited, and we must not have confrontation from our Western neighbors to any extent. We must see also the flourishing of Guyana, because the space must be allowed without any intervention from any dominant big player called Venezuela.
Our Guyana is a peaceful nation. It has been for more than 50 years, 56 years, counting. And what we have been seeing happening at Venezuela's borders and ongoing in their country is very distasteful. Internationally, there has been a lot of unrest. There have been wars, the issues, just to mention a few, in Israel, Ukraine. And I stand here to say that Guyana must lead by example in showing the world that peace comes first, and we will not bow to Venezuela's threats. Mr. Speaker, with the motion put forward, we stand in support of affirming the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the state of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. I reaffirm the recognition and acceptance of the 1899 Arbitral Award and the 1966 Geneva Agreement. I denounce as unlawful, void, and of no international legal effect the referendum in Venezuela. I support the government in its pursuit to ensure a peaceful and lawful resolution of the controversy before the ICJ.
Guyana's Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd has engaged his colleagues on the matter, with many speaking out in support of Guyana.